Hey, this is Simon from the Bracketeer at South OC Cars and Coffee. Are you seeing this? Blue sky. Yep, that's right. Another picture perfect day in San Clemente, California, and an amazing turnout of cars. Let's swing the camera around and take a look. So I thought I'd better film this as we start. A really beautiful looking Eleanor clone about to leave. I didn't want to let that go before we checked it out. So as we look around, we have my Camaro. Now next to it, the very first in the wild that I've seen, one of the brand new ZR1 Corvette. So this is the new Corvette that's basically track bred, over 700 horsepower, lots of carbon fiber, lots of aero on this thing. Carbon brakes, for example, if we come down and look at the brakes on this thing, carbon ceramic brakes, just an amazing car. The fastest Chevy ever built, that's for sure. Designed specifically for track use. You can see when we look at the tyre down here, you know, no tread-on. It's basically a track tyre. But yeah, there we go, the brand new ZR1. I guess we'll start seeing more and more of them, but it was great to see the first one here. Render 66, of course, a 66 350h GT 350h Mustang. Of course, they were the cars that back in the day you could go and rent those and use them as your weekend racer. Problem was, guys would rent them and then bring them back with a different motor in them, and so Hertz used to have to go, hang on, why is this Mustang a little bit slower than normal? It's because guys were taking the engines out. Onto Dave's Ferrari, Jay's GT Ford, another Ferrari here. Then we got a great lineup of Porsches who have joined us this morning. Just walking through here, I'm not going to try and describe them all or say all the models, but there's just so many of them through here. Great turnout. Every era, beautiful little speedster there. Really great lineup. And they go on and on, keep going. We appreciate all of their support. We come up to the end, finally we got some little 914s up here. Another Ferrari, and then a Cobra replica, and then we have a Viper, and then yet another Porsche, a little Carmen Ghia, and then a really pretty little Triumph TR6. Great colour on that car, for sale if anybody's interested. Swinging around to the other side, another Porsche in this gold, actually for sale. And then Mustang, and then Volkswagen. It's actually Volkswagen Alley through here. If I go through here, we've got Beetles. Now all of a sudden on a little Porsche, a couple more Beetles. Great looking old car here. Another Beetle here. Coming up this way, we've got this gorgeous Safari Star Chief from Pontiac. Gorgeous old Ford. Look at that. If only we could buy cars for $295 today. How cool would that be? Revero, the replacement for the Karma Fisker, now the Revero. A little BMW here. This van that we've seen before, running this blown small block Chev mounted backwards into the back of it, and then using a Marine V-drive to actually transfer the drive from the engine to the V-drive, and then back through the opposite direction. Okay, we've got a little Subaru BRZ El Camino. Then we've got Mustang Alley through here. First one with the Kenny Bell supercharger. And then they keep going. Mustangs of every colour. GT350 there, great car. Of course, running that flat plane crank. Robert Celine, another one there. Then another regular we see all the time is this great looking little Jeep. Check this out. Isn't that awesome? So much attention to detail put into this thing. Great looking little Jeep. This may not be the one I've seen here before actually. This looks like it is a Willys. The one I've seen here before is actually a Ford equivalent. Men and women that used to ride around in these things during wartime. I mean, it's barely more than a seat and some wheels and an engine, so very cool. A couple of Cobras over here. Nice one in a dark blue next to a slightly lighter blue. This great looking Chevy 3100 truck. I was talking to the owner earlier on. I've shown this before, but it certainly deserves another look. Check out the welding on the intake manifold and the valve covers on this thing. It is such a cool looking truck. Obviously running air ride, and the tray tips up in the back so you can actually see the attention to detail. Look at the fuel tank under here, and then if we look down at running a 9-inch diff, pumps under there. I love this because the outside of it looks, so patinaed and looking like it's had a hard life. And then as we look through the rest of it, it's just so neat. Gentlemen, what do we think of this particular truck?
Looks like ours.
Looks like yours?
Yeah, it looks like ours. Look
Yeah.
at the welds. The welds are fantastic.
The welds are perfect.
Unbelievable. Looks
That-
like a whole stack of little dimes. Look at
That's what they call in the world of welding, weld porn, apparently. Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? Ferrari, a Mustang running a blower, the SVT blower, Scion FRS, another Cobra replica. This little Opal that we've seen here before, and of course these headlights are mechanical and they actually rotate to expose them. Do they work?
With a little effort.
Are we able to see them? So watch this. Look at that. Let's go back again. So it's so cool. When everybody was doing flip up headlights, these actually rotate. Oh! And now what people are not seeing is it's not some elegant little switch that you're actually operating. Let's have a look what you're actually doing in here. There's a mechanical lever. Yeah, I think I can. Away we go. And you're pulling the lever. Yeah. So it's actually pulling a lever backwards and forwards to do that. But
Thanks for the introduction.
so you're welcome. You're welcome. What a great looking little car.
Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you for bringing it out. And of course, you saw the Wheeler Dealers episode recently where they
yeah.
did one up. Yeah.
Twice.
Twice. Very cool. Did you learn anything from it?
No, not at all.
No.
I could have done that episode myself.
That's cool. But great to
I've
see.
been into these for too long, 30 years.
And what got you into them?
Neighbor across the street from my parents had one in his garage,
Wow.
and he unfortunately let his son-in-law work on it,
Right.
and he screwed up the carburetor. So it sat in his garage for a number of years, and he saw me tinkering with my car, which was a '74 Mustang at
Right.
the time. And he asked me to come over and take a look at it for him. And a few hours later, I had him driving it around the block.
Yeah. Right.
So
That was where the love
and
affair
it was
started.
this color too.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was just a automatic. This is a
Manual. Yeah. Right. Very cool. Thank you for bringing it out. Really appreciate it. Mustang. Isn't that a great story? Alfa Romeo, one of the new minis. Very cool looking Riviera in black, in the weeds. Beautiful trim in that thing. And that diamond stitch pattern in this just looks so great. So much effort. Cobra. Next to a Tornado. So this is a Oldsmobile. Really interesting looking car. Back end's sort of, it's funny, it's similar to a Firebird in a lot of respects as you look at the back end, but interesting lines. Interior on it. And that Oldsmobile engine looks like it might have a flat battery. Camaro M3. BMW, I think it's an M5. Evo. WRX. Dodge Demon, the quick one. So this is the one that's track ready. You can tell that by the tyres on it. Just an incredibly set up car. So many cool options with the Demon. This particular one has got a back seat delete. So you notice there's a roll cage back in there, and it's got racing harnesses and everything. If you said to your Dodge dealer when you ordered it, hey, I want to have a back seat, it's a dollar edition. There's a whole lot of dollar editions. They also give you some race prep tyres and rims as well. So the Demon Crate, which is kind of cool, is actually catalogued by VIN number and comes with a floor jack and a few other accessories. One of these really nice little Alfa Romeos. I think these are going to become a real timeless classic. Beautiful lines, Great driver's car. Just really nicely done, really nicely engineered. Very much retains Alfa Romeo DNA. Beautiful looking Corvette running a 427 big block. The turbojet, so three carbs on that if you look down under there. Very cool. Very, very cool. Of course, the 427 and its variants, holy grail of engines in those days. 64 El Camino, little Volkswagen, little Triumph TR5, I think that is, a little beach buggy for sale, and S2000 and Cadillac. Over to this side, the holy grail of Mopar. Check that out, we've seen this before. Roadrunner, that spectacular looking front end, and then the big tail on it. Now, what a lot of people don't know about these cars is you think that that's set pitch on this rear fin. It's not. It's actually, you can angle it. You can see this one is on a little bit of an angle. You can actually loosen that bolt and angle it for track reasons. One of the biggest differences between the track prep cars and the regular cars was there was actually safety cables inside the track cars, so that if for whatever reason, if this came loose, it wouldn't go flying into the driver behind it. So one of the subtle but still really important differences. Of course, there was a lot of controversy, the aero with that pointy nose and that big fin. These things were beating all of the other cars at the time, and they banned them. But luckily we get to keep them as part of the sort of that legacy of that era of 60s. Next to a Cougar, next to a great looking old Chevy. I think it's 38 or 39. I can never remember. One of them had the headlights on the actual side of the hood. The other one had them down on the fenders. In fact, let's see if we can look into the tail lights and see what year it is. No, it does not say. A lot of these old Chevys would say it looks like the lenses have been replaced, but it does not say. Never mind. Beautiful, nevertheless. Look at the interior in this thing. It's great. The old dice on the gear shifter. Next to a Mustang, next to a Subaru, and then a Corvair. Of course, the car that basically meant that safety laws were brought into the US. These things were known for swapping ends, so there was a shift away from the engineering side of things. Next is great Rambler, American, which is good. Corvette, another Corvette. Good morning. 69 Camaro we see as a regular. That billet grill on that thing and sort of resto modded. Really nicely done. The build's obviously a few years old, but looks really good still. 442, which we know is a regular here. Moving down through, we've got Mustang. This old Ford running this gorgeous old flathead here. Just love these old flathead engines. They really make them sort of authentic, those old cars. Corvette, a lot of carbon fibre on that one. Row of Corvettes here, both C6s and earlier, and C5, C7, another C7, another C6, and a Mustang, and a very cool looking truck over here. Running a Ford V8 in this thing. Sort of flat paint job. Bit of serious off-roading here with this truck. It's an old F100 by the look of it, but and next to a lifted Ram, Toyota that's all lifted up as well. So little Saturns for sale. Really nice looking Audi R8 running that Lamborghini shared V10, and then really nice looking red interior with that cross stitch. Right next to it, this really pretty looking truck. 50 Chevy truck, running a big block on this thing, which is kind of cool. Really neat looking engine bay. Simple, you know, not a over the top detail build, but something that looks so cool that you'd be happy just to jump in and drive every day, which I'm a sucker for. You know, it's one thing to have something that's pristine, but it's another thing to have a truck like this where you can just jump in and drive. Now next to it, another Chevy truck. I love this thing. This thing looks amazing. You look at the actual tray on this thing, with the way it's all integrated. I've got a feeling, and I don't want to touch it because it just looks so beautiful, but I've got a feeling that's all fiberglass. Just such a pretty truck. Let's see if we can see the year on this one. Yeah, that's a 55. So if you're looking, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's the word 55, so we can tell it's a 1955 Cameo. What a great looking truck. Love it, love it. This one running a small block Chef. Still plenty of power for something of that size. Mustang, Porsche, beautiful. Look at that little Alfa Romeo just leaving us there. Look at that, awesome. Onto a 59 Chev El Camino. I'm going to show you something about the 59s, which is really cool. Aside from the fact that they've just got this really cool stance about them, they are known as the only year to have these teardrop tail lights. So you look at the back of it, those big sort of swooping lines and those fins on this thing, but the teardrop tail lights are what made the 59 stand out as, I guess, the collector item, because they're that one-off. They only did those tail lights that 1 year. Pretty looking interior in this thing too. Actually for sale. It's running a 350 small block by the look of it. Really nice looking vehicle. Okay, over the other side we've got a little Acura NSX, which is for sale. A couple of the Nissans, the 300 ZX. Great little car for their day. Handled extremely well. Good seeing two of them side by side. Next to it, a beautiful little MGB GT. So obviously a hardtop, not a convertible like we're used to with the MG, but great little engine on these things. It's running the standard twin SU carburetors on this thing. So, and a lot of people don't know how to take care of these things because they are susceptible and are not running well when the engine gets hot or when the temperature changes or whatever. But they are such a simple carburetor. It's really, really easy to rebuild. They've got a brass barrel and a needle in them. And the key to getting them to run well is you've just got to make sure that you unscrew this and you put a light machine grade oil in these things. And you have to be careful the oil you use, because if it's affected by heat and the viscosity changes, that has a direct relationship to the tune on the car. So if all of a sudden the viscosity of the oil gets lighter, then you've got an issue with it causing problems with actually changing the tune. So really cool. It's something I've never seen before, and I don't know if it's original or not. Maybe it is, but this plate here, which is designed to insulate the heat from the exhaust manifold into the intake manifold. It looks like it's factory, but I've never seen one before, but very, very cool. Great little engine, great little car, such a distinctive exhaust note on MGs, which is certainly one of their appeals. BMW, another BMW, got a Corvette just leaving us, and an AMG, another Corvette here, Cobra replica, moving right along. Long live the station wagon, check that out. Very cool. So, very cool. Next to a cool looking green Bronco. I talked about this last week. It's running that this FI Tech fuel injection system that allows you to basically bolt off your standard Carter or Holley or other 4-barrel and bolt a fuel injection system on, so you get better power and better fuel economy. You've got to add some sensors to it as well, like O2 sensors, but really cost-effective way of getting a better tune. Next to another Bronco, next to a Volkswagen. Love those flip-out windshields in that thing. Very, very cool. As we keep moving through, another Corvette, so C7, the white one, next to this beautiful GTO 66, great looking car for sale again. Wow, what a great looking car. So running a 6.5 litre, another Corvette over here. We move along here. Another Corvette, great looking hot rod up here. I've seen this before, spoken about this car before. Running that flathead, those Edelbrock heads, cool looking thing. A couple of twin carbs on the top there. Love the authenticity of this thing. So, very, very cool. Very cool. Probably going to hear it, only just jumped in. So, 32. That's a 30. Love that sound, that rumble of a flathead V8. It sounds great. So there's your 32. Next to it a 34. So there's your difference. That peak grill at the front here is what makes the difference. The look of telling apart. Next to another 32 over here. This one running it's interesting. It's actually running a 6-cylinder and a B&M, blower, which is kind of cool. BMW, the Grand Wagoneer, and then Mustang running a 351. Sunbeam Tiger. little Jensen Healy, running those side draft Weber carburetors. Great carburetor if they're tuned right. This is really cool. Grey looking Ford truck. Is it a Ford? No, I don't think it is. No, it's not. Sorry, I take that back. It's not a Ford. It's a. Yes, it is. Interesting. What threw me was that this is obviously an earlier engine. Most Fords have got the distributor at the front of the engine, not the back. So this is kind of cool. Good looking truck. Corvette, another Corvette. Lots of Corvettes today. Next door we got over here. We've got a Bentley. Then another Cobra replica. Mitsubishi. A Porsche. T-bucket. Big block. Tunnel ram. A couple of Hollies. BMW. Mustang. A lot of cars this morning. Had a few leave already. It's a little bit later in the day from when I normally do the video, but Packard looks great. Packards are a great looking car. They were regarded as one of the finest cars, along with things like Duesenbergs. Cobra. Another little, Camaro Gen 5 2015, I think. BMW. Chevy 2. Another Gen 5 Camaro. This is a pretty looking car. This is a Buick. Beautiful blue and white colour. Just great lines. 1956 Roadmaster. I really like it when they put the year and the model in the car, because when I'm doing my videos it makes me look far more intelligent than I really am. So great looking car. Thank you for bringing it out. Next to it, a Montclair Mercury. So I'm guessing same sort of year, but cool looking thing. Maybe a little bit later, but next to it, very cool looking truck. Sounded tough when it came in. I think he said it had a 383 stroker in that small block. Of course, a 56 over here, Chevy. Pontiac G8. Next to an E-Type Jag. Next to another Corvette. Ford Custom. Pretty looking BMW. Another, Mercedes next to a BMW. What am I saying? This Mercedes looks kind of cool. This little M4, great looking hot rod, small block tunnel ram, a Camaro, Porsche, another C7. Jumping over to the other side, we've got an Audi at the end. Belongs to I think it looks like Sergio's car. One of the new Kia Stingers. Great looking little Mercedes convertible there. Cougar, another nice looking Mercedes. This is kind of classic, isn't it? 280 SE. Love the painted hubcaps to actually match the roof line. Nice looking red interior in that. Great to see. A little Volkswagen convertible. Not sure if they were the ones that were done aftermarket. Volvo. How cool is this? These cars I think were made famous by a TV series called The Saint. And I'm not sure, I don't know whether James Bond ever drove one of these. I don't think so. I think he had Aston Martins, and then one year actually a little Datsun, believe it or not, which Toyota, sorry, little Toyota sports car, but great looking cars. Another Volvo here, something a little bit newer, and another one here. Volvo with Ferrari badges. Somebody better break the news to them. Mazda Speed, that's the 2.3 litre. No, that's a Mazda Speed 6, which means it's the 2.3, and it has that turbocharged engine. They're a great little car, very sure-footed, all-wheel drive. The standard 6 was front-wheel drive. Great little notchy 6-speed gearbox in them. They did have troubles with turbochargers though, so they would have oiling issues with the turbocharger. But nonetheless, at the time when this came out, which is about 2000 and I'm going to say 2004, 2006 this one is, they're a quick little car, very quick little, very sure-footed little car. Next to it, 55 Chevy. This is probably import too, isn't it? These were not made in the US?
About 10,000 were in North America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know the standard 6s, this is the owner here. I know the standard 6s were assembled here. In Australia we had ones from Japan, but I would have thought maybe because they were left-hand drive they did them here.
Right, yeah, they made a few.
Right.
A few here, so.
Yeah, okay. But still, great little car. Thanks for bringing it. A 55 Chev next to this great looking old Chevy. It's a hot rod because it's got You know, it's lowered and it's got a small block in there, but it looks kind of authentic. Next to it, a really nice looking 55 Nomad by look, and next to it, the Ford delivery van that belongs to Dan. We got a couple of trucks leaving us now. Mercedes-Benz, Stingray. So, guessing the year, but it looks like to me 69, I think. Let's have a look. Is it going to give it us away? We're going to be able to see on the tail lights. 68. So 68. Love the fact that they put those numbers in the tail lights. No good on the Camaros though, because the later ones, should I say, because even my 2011 has 2010, because that's the model prefix. Oh, Cadillac, Mustang. This cool looking Rambler running a small block Chev there. So C7. And next to it a great looking old Cadillac so this is the cool thing about this car. You stand back, you look at this thing, you go, man, that's a classic, it's all original. And then you come up under the hood and not so original. Very cool. So that's the later engine, the LS derived engine. So it's the engine out of an Escalade, supercharged.
So it's not out of an Escalade.
It's not out of an Escalade. Oh, sorry, out of a.
Brand new.
Okay, so it's a crate motor that you bought.
And we're same tranny rear end,
That's cool.
new clip front end, so it's light.
So clip front end, supercharged. Very cool. Very cool. Like what you've done with the catch can at the front. So the oh, no, that's power steering pump, is it? Power steering reservoir that you've done there. Very cool. Very cool. That looks great. And then on to the car of the show, methinks. Well, maybe not. I worked with this gentleman, and believe it or not, this particular Galaxy he took on the hot rod tour. So drove it basically halfway across the country with his kids in the back, the power tour. So drove it all the way from here in San Clemente, basically across the other side of the country. I know it looks like this mechanically actually is pretty darn sound, running a big block in it. So Maxima next to a 300C, next to a little BMW, a couple of more BMWs up there. We talked about the Mazda 6-speed before. Here's the 3. You can tell by the hood scoop and the nose is a little bit sort of stumpier on these things, running effectively the same turbocharged power plant, but still front wheel drive, and this is not all drive like in the 6. Nice Corvette in that green, another Corvette, and as we move through, really nice looking 383 in this Mopar down here. Check this out. What a beautiful looking car. So a big old Plymouth. Great looking car. Okay, Volkswagen next to it, the Fairlady Z, which we see regularly. Great looking car as well. Roush Supercharged 427 in that Mustang GT 500. Tacoma with a bit of serious off-roading stuff there. Next to a Jeep, somebody's put a lot of love into this thing. Look at the inner fenders and the suspension on it. So cool to see. Good looking Beetle with a tip out front windscreen. Nice looking. Really, I love the wheels on this thing. This is just. I love the variety of cars we get. So this is a GTI R. So really capable little car, you know. So looking at 300 horsepower range, very quick. A little Voxy Scion FRS Toyota 86. Another Toyota 86, same car basically. Little beach buggy, couple of them side by side. Loads of fun. You know, the cool thing when guys used to turn those into, you know, use them for the sand and whatever, if anything broke, they weren't expensive to fix. These days, guys are driving sand rails with $20,000, $30,000 worth of motor and, you know, $100,000, $200,000 sand rails. When they break, they know about it. Cool looking old Porsche there. Really lovely looking Corvette. So I'm guessing sort of 62, I think, not 63 of course because it's not split window, could also be 64. Not so good with these models, but I just know I love them. Great looking car. This one running a small block Tesla, another GT350, and then a Maserati down here. And then let's jump across the other side. What have we got over here? A Hellcat, course, that supercharged engine. Really nice little Carrera convertible. What a perfect day to drive up the coast in that car. C6 Corvette, R35, GTR 35, awesome car. Little Subaru BRZ. So same cars we saw before, the Toyota 86. Here's another Scion and a FRS. Toyota 86, the Subaru BRZ, same car again, a few differences. Volkswagen R32, R8, really nice sounding motorcycle here. Ducatis have that dry clutch system, they just sound so good, a little rattle to them. WRX, next to another Subaru, next to another WRX. Lamborghini, such presence, and this just looks great, doesn't it? Moving up this way, sort of getting into the last bit through here. Mustang, supercharged, great colour. Somebody doing a little dance over here. Would you like to do that again for the video? Look at that. That's right, this will be live on air very soon, so there we go. That's the entertainment. So go to southoccarsandcoffee.com and you will be famous. There's some things in life that you regret. That was one of them, I believe. Little Nissan. We got a row of BMWs along here. It's like an old ex-Pursuit car. Porsche 914 Gen 5 Camaro. 2010, I think, maybe. Hellcat. Really cool the way. Check this out. They've sort of airbrushed the Hellcat logo into the side of the thing rather than having the badge on it. Nicely done. Another Dodge Demon. Great to see two of them at the show. This one's probably, yeah, it does have the back seat in it. We were talking about the back seat delete before. Challenger RT. Nice looking El Camino. And this is not something you see every day. I've heard of people taking the Ferret for a run, but to actually bring it to a car show. That's kind of cool. Look at that curious little guy. The cool thing about a Ferret is, I guess if you drop your car keys under the seat, you can send the Ferret in to get them. A little Miata next to one of the previous models. Great car, very track capable, awesome car. Jeep next to a Tacoma. And then moving along, we've got a Challenger next to a ZL1 Gen 5 Camaro running that LSA engine. Hellcat Charger this time. So that was the badge I was talking before. The other one was airbrushed on. Love this orange. Although I am a sucker for orange, everybody knows that. And then next to a Slingshot, this 3-seater. What a load of fun that would be, taking up the coast again as well. Very cool. And then finally over this side, we have this Mercedes-Benz. Okay, over to the motorcycle side, we've got a couple of really beautiful looking Triumph over here. Look at that, Bonnevilles. That looks so great. Of course, Triumph making a comeback at the moment with their motorcycle range. Kawasaki, a little Honda, don't know what you'd call that. Harley Davidson, and then another really nice Harley Davidson. Another one, this one here, love the grey colour, looks awesome. Look at the pegs they put at the back for the person to sit at the back, very cool looking thing. Another one, BMW, and then not sure, it's got it covered up, I can't see what that is. It looks cool. And another BMW at the end. So that's it for another week at South OC Cars and Coffee. What an amazing turnout of cars. Thank you everybody for bringing them out. Motorcycles as well. Thanks very much to the spectators. It was an amazing turnout today. Thanks of course to Ruby's for bringing out the coffee and the donuts, and of course the outlets of San Clemente. Make sure to go in there and support all of the shops in there as a thank you for letting us be here. That's it for another week. See you next week at another South OC Cars and Coffee.